Dear students, greetings to all. In this module, we'll begin with Chapter 6 of Biology, Molecular Basis of Inheritance. Talking about the, the unit which form the basis of inheritance, they are the nucleic acids. Now, what are the name of the two nucleic acids which are found in the living organisms? They are the DNA and the RNA. So DNA that refers to deoxyribonucleic acid. And so here deoxy, that means the oxygen is removed. And when we talk about the ribonucleic acid, that is what is referred to as the RNA. So both of them, the DNA and the RNA, they are found in the living system. Now, what acts as the genetic material in most of the organisms? So that is the DNA. It's a double-stranded structure, and in majority of the organisms, it is the genetic material. Whereas in case of organisms like viruses, the single-stranded RNA acts as the genetic material. While DNA acts only as the genetic material, RNA also acts as an adapter, catalytic, and messenger molecule, apart from acting as the genetic material in few viruses. Talking about the nucleic acids, they are basically the biomolecules and they are macromolecules which are present in all living cell. Friedrich Mischer, he was the first person who had isolated nucleic acids from the pus cell, and he referred to them as nuclein. As it has the acidic nature, and therefore the name was given by Altman as nucleic acids. So the two types of nucleic acids which are found in living organisms, they are basically deoxyribonucleic acids and the ribonucleic acids. The DNA, that's the genetic material of all living organism, it carries the coded information. The information is controlled by the gene, and later on the gene, they express into particular protein. The information gets expressed in the form of specific protein, and the information gets transferred from one generation to the next generation. Talking about the eukaryotic cell, U here refers to advance and carry-on refers to nucleus. So the eukaryotic DNA, it is found in the nucleus. It is a linear genetic material. The genetic material, that is DNA, it's a 2.2 meter long strand, and it is coiled like this and is present in the nucleus, compactly held together by histone proteins. So this coil structure which is present is referred to as the chromatin fiber. Just before the cell division, the chromatin get arranged in the form of chromosomes, having the centromere in the center and the disc-like structure which is present, that is kinetochore, to which the spindle fibers attach. So the chromosome comprises of the ribbon-shaped structures which are referred to as the chromatids. DNA is also found in mitochondria and chloroplast because they are semi-autonomous organelles. They have got their own protein and their own genetic material. The DNA, it is a long polymer of deoxyribonucleotides. The length of the DNA is defined by the number of nucleotides or pair of nucleotides, that is the base pairs which are present in it. Like for example, bacteriophage, that is 5174-phage, comprises of 5386 nucleotides. Lambda phage includes 48502 base pairs. The human DNA comprises of 3.3 into 10 power 9 base pairs. Talking about the haploid constitution, the E. coli comprises of 4.6 into 10 to the power 6 base pairs. The structure of the polynucleotide chain. So the DNA and the RNA chain, they basically comprise of three basic components, which is the nitrogenous base. It could be the nitrogenous base, could be purine or pyrimidine. The pentose sugar that refers to 5-carbon sugar and a phosphate group. The nitrogenous base, it basically contains nitrogen containing compounds. The nitrogenous base includes purines comprising of adenine and guanine and pyrimidines comprising of cytosine and thiamine. In case of, so it is like A, that is adenine will form a double bond with thiamine, guanine will form a triple bond with cytosine. So the bonds which are formed, they are referred to as hydrogen bonds, and instead of thiamine there will be presence of uracil in case of the RNA. Uracil is unstable, thiamine is more stable in comparison to uracil. Nitrogenous bases is linked to pentose sugar through the N-glycosidic linkage. Then they are referred to as the nucleoside. So a nitrogenous base is linked to a pentose sugar and then it forms a nucleoside. And when the phosphate group is linked to the 5' hydroxyl of nucleoside through a phosphoester linkage, then it corresponds to the formation of a nucleotide. So the components we can see of the nucleic acids, they basically comprise of the nitrogenous bases, the sugar and the phosphate. So we can see the diagrammatic representation of a deoxyribose sugar and a ribose sugar. At the 2' position, we can see that here there is the presence of oxygen, whereas in case of deoxyribose, 2-deoxyribose, the oxygen from the second position is removed. The phosphate, the structure of the phosphate moiety is given over here. Now talking about the nitrogen bases, the structures of thiamine, adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil, because they have got the nitrogenous compounds, therefore they are referred to as the nitrogenous bases. So the adenine will combine with deoxyribose sugar to form deoxyadenosine. Guanine combines with deoxyribose sugar to form deoxyguanosine. Cytosine and thiamine combine with sugar to form deoxycytidine and deoxythymidine respectively. Talking about the nucleotides, the compound formed by combination of phosphate group with nucleoside is a nucleotide. So nucleoside is a combination of sugar and the nitrogenous base. And when there is presence of phosphate, it is referred to as a nucleotide. The phosphate group is linked to this nucleoside through the 5' hydroxyl end to form a phosphoester linkage. And if a polymer, two nucleotides are linked, then it is referred to as phosphodiester linkage. And many nucleotides can be similarly be added to form a polynucleotide chain. So the 4 types of nucleotides which are basically present in the DNA, deoxyadenosine, deoxyguanosine, deoxycytidine and deoxythymidine monophosphate respectively. Now let us have a look at the diagrammatic view which is given over here. So the polynucleotide strand, here the two nucleotides, they are linked through the 3' 5' phosphodiester linkage. So here we can see that the one depicted in blue, it's the ribose sugar, it's a pentose sugar, 5-carbon sugar. we can see the presence of the phosphate group. So this is the ribose sugar which is attached to a nitrogenous base, and this is the 5 prime end or 5 prime end having the phosphate. We can see that the attachment takes place between the two nucleotide, this formation of phosphodiester bond to form a dinucleotide. So the phosphodiester bond is formed between the the 5 prime hydroxyl end of a nucleoside. The phosphate group gets linked over there. So the phosphodiester bond is formed. Here we can see that the formation of phosphodiester bond takes place between the fifth and the third carbon atom of the pentose sugar. So the linkage is taking place between the third and the fifth carbon atom as underlined over here. Therefore, the polynucleotide will also contain the strand will contain the fifth and the third end. More nucleotide join the polynucleotide, which has at one end free phosphate moiety at 5 prime end and a free 3 prime end. The backbone is formed by sugar and phosphate, and the nitrogenous base project from the backbone. So it is somewhat like a staircase. So if we draw the diagrammatic representation, it's somewhat like a staircase where the rim is formed by the sugar and phosphate, and the steps of these stairs, they are formed by the nitrogenous bases. So in this module, we had a detailed discussion on the components which form up the nucleic components which form up the genetic material, that is the DNA. Hopefully, you must have garnered the concepts thoroughly. Thank you.